buddy. We just finished cleaning the gym this morning. Isn't it nice? So clean, you could literally just like, But I figured since we cleaned the gym, maybe it was a good day to talk about cleans and snatches. No, don't leave me. And just make a really simple Olympic lifting video for you guys. Let's go. Oh boy, buddy. Thank you, thank you. Our right side surely has taken a beating over the years. But it's okay, because we stay ready. We stay ready to rock. We should warm up the ankle. So here we go. That is my goal today, to create a very simple Olympic lifting video. Now, I coach CrossFit. I compete CrossFit. I do all the CrossFit things, which means us as CrossFitters, we're crazy. We're loco, en la cabeza, and we're trying to get good at so many different things. To get good at something, you gotta do a lot of it. There's no magic to it. For us, the reason I bring that up is, if you're in the same boat as me, trying to get the best at so many different things, we gotta make all of these reps count because we're spreading ourselves very thin. Let's know what we're doing. This video is gonna go over the full Olympic lift. Basically to hit both the power position and the full lifts, meaning pulling yourself to the bottom of the squat. I'm gonna demo power cleans and then squat snatches, just so you guys can see both lifts to the power position and lifts to the bottom of the squat. I also coached a lot of snatches this morning, which always fires me up to coach more Olympic lifting. I love it. It's so much fun seeing athletes get that feeling of nailing a lift and they're like, wow, how did that even happen? Well, we are gonna break it down piece by piece. We're gonna go from the ground to the knee, to the hip, to that big jump, and then to your reception. Piece by piece, I'm gonna give you guys my most common cues that hopefully you can stick in your pocket and take it to your next Olympic lifting session. So let's get into it. Bar is sitting on the ground, right? We have to get it to our shoulders because we're gonna start with power cleans. So I've actually done a video about this first thing that we're gonna go over a long time ago. Is the word we call patience. Getting this bar moving off of the ground, a lot of people see these lifts and they're like, these are dynamic, these are fast moving lifts, but you have to know exactly where you want to be fast and explosive because there's an element of control when it comes to Olympic lifting. You want to be able to keep your balance through your feet. You want to be able to send the bar on the right path all the way in its straight line. I'm about to kill this mic over here or something. I don't know. Now it looks like I have a hairy armpit. First piece, we're going from the ground. We're focusing on from the ground to the knee. What happens there? This is where a lot of people right away get screwed up. The very first drive off of the ground. In an Olympic lift, my shoulders are higher than my bottom. When I push off of the ground, notice I said push, I'm pushing my feet into the ground to start moving the barbell. A lot of people will make the mistake of, I start either pulling with my arms or picking up my chest. These big guys are gonna move that big heavy weight. These arms are just gonna stay long. I'm gonna think about driving or pushing my feet hard into the ground. And you guys watch what happens. What do my legs do when that happens? Are y'all seeing it? Those knees actually get out the way of the barbell because we don't want the barbell taking some curvy path. In that case, when I'm set up, my knees are in the way. I gotta drive the ground away and start pushing my knees back out the way of that bar. Where did my PVC go? Oh. Just so you guys can get a little bit clearer view of this, bar on the ground, I stay over that bar. This angle is gonna stay the same. I'm just doing a leg press, pushing the ground away to get my knees moving out the way of the bar. The patience element is showing the control when that's happening. If you start here and start ripping the bar off of the ground or going way too fast off of the ground, when we get to our knees, you're gonna have space here. We don't want space when it comes to these Olympic lifts. We need starting with a little more patience and that big push to get my knees out the way of the bar is step number uno. Leg drive, patience past the knee. Nice and strong off of the ground. Okay, after that, sweet. We're all the way halfway up our legs, right? It happens next. This is another tricky part. I keep saying I'm gonna make this simple, but then I keep saying these parts are tricky. I wanna put a little emphasis on this part of Olympic lifting. Over the years, I know just me personally, I'm weaker back here through my posterior chain. I tend to be more quad dominant. I'm really good at squatting and lunging. Usually the most challenging part of the Olympic lift for me personally, being that I'm typically weaker back here, is that first drive off of the ground. But also, I've noticed as we've trained and trained to get stronger back here, another thing I needed to focus on to help me get stronger in staying over the bar and improving my pulling strength is this guy right here. These guys on both sides, those are your lats. You need to be pressing that bar in so hard as you're dragging that guy up your legs so you're able to stay over the bar, find this big stretch in those hammies that need to get strong. But naturally, if I were to not engage my lats, the bar would float out here. I need to be pressing that bar in super, super tight. So we're pressing the bar in super, super tight, and we're past the knee. Now, how do we get to the high hang position? This is the hang position. This is from the knee. How do we get into the high hang position, or getting that bar all the way up to the top of your legs? Y'all see what I'm doing right here? This is our funky cue of reclining your chair. Like if you were in a reclining chair. To get from the hang to the high hang, this is what we gotta do. Pressing the bar in super tight to my legs and tilting or reclining my shoulders back to the high hang position where I'm gonna be doing my vertical jump next. A lot of people ask, especially since we're going over cleans first, they're like, do I need to get the bar to my hip crease for cleans? I will say this. If you want to clean as heavy as possible, you need to get the bar tucked into your hip pocket. Bare minimum, you need to be sitting at the top of your quads for cleans. For snatches, you have to be in your hip pocket. Don't talk to me unless your bar is sitting in your hip pocket when you're snatching. Sorry to threaten you guys. Sometimes I just get a little to the high hang position. I'm peeling my shoulders back and my knees stay bent and ready to jump right here because that's our next step. Right? Bars pressing in tight, my shoulders go back to vertical. People get tripped up when we say make hip contact on their lifts and they think they have to pull the bar in from their arms to do this, or you have to swing your hips forward to make hip contact. It's all about that pushing the bar hard into your legs and tilting those shoulders back to your vertical jumping position to get to that strong high hang position. Now I need to make a video on step number 3 because high hang position work or hip cleaning or hip snatching from right here is a game changer because you start learning how to use this powerful lever right here to move those heavy barbells. We were patient, we reclined our chair, now we're here. Simple, simple, Becca, simple. If you jump up, everything goes up. The bar is gonna go up with you. If you start pulling with your arms or swinging your shoulders back and your hips forward, that's when we get crazy walking steps all over the place, lifts not feeling good, lifts not feeling solid. Pretend you are a puppet. You have a string here, you have a string on each shoulder, and you're going straight up. You're having someone pull you straight up. That's how we get everything feeling good and getting that bar where it needs to go before we go to our reception, which will be the last thing that we talk about. I'm here. I'm a puppet. My head and my shoulders go up. Now, when you get really aggressive and far into Olympic lifting and you start lifting really heavy, there will be up and slightly back. But so many of us that are probably watching this video are probably just still all over the place, forwards, backwards, feeling really wobbly. And so let's just simplify it to, if I take everything straight up, my head, my shoulders, I squeeze all of this to where I'm pointed straight up, that bar is gonna follow me by going straight up. High hang position with the bar up at the top of my legs, my shoulders are vertical. Now I'm a puppet and I jump straight up, everything gets vertical. This is where the fun part of Olympic lifting happens. You used all of these big muscles to elevate this barbell and now it's weightless. How ironic. We're weightlifting and the bar is weightless right now. And that's when the last step will be, I pull myself to my reception. In this case, we're doing a power clean. I get that bar floating, up, 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 vertical, weightless, and then I pull my body down under that bar. I pull myself down to my strong reception to cap off that lift. Shall we move the bar next? Let's do it. So nice. Nothing beats the feeling of nailing an Olympic lift. When you're patient past the knee, you recline your chair to your tight, high hang position with that bar pressing in tight. You jump hard straight up to the ceiling and then pull yourself to your reception. That's what creates a nice, awesome Olympic lifting feeling. And we're about to get to squat snatches, which is some people's nemesis out there, but we're gonna make them not your nemesis. Hang on. Do you know what one of my pet peeves is when I'm watching Olympic lifting? Is when people don't finish the dang lift. When they're over here looking at me, who's trying to coach them, before they even landed the lift. The reception has to have so much intention. I mean, every part of the lift has to have intention. But sometimes, if people just be wild and jumping beans out there, sometimes I'll just be like, can we stick a landing? Can you focus on landing hard with the barbell and just being rock solid through your midline? Yes, that solves a lot of issues right there. In order to squat snatch heavy, you have to be able to overhead squat heavy. There's no skipping past that. Plate overhead T-spine stretch, our banded stretches for our hips, box pigeon. What else is there? Those are all great mobility exercises that should be done multiple times a week that I've done videos for. So the big scary lift is this guy, right? This guy. It is all the same pieces and parts that we went over. Patience past the knee. Recline my shoulders back to the high hang position, that vertical jumping position. Remember I said your snatch grip should allow you to get the bar all the way tucked into your hip pocket. Then you're jumping hard and extending tall, straight up, just like you're a puppet. And then, what we just talked about, you're strong and intentional to your reception, whether that be the power position or the full squatting position. Guys, so you don't need to be intimidated by something that looks super fancy like that. You just have to know what's going on. From the ground to the knee, from the knee to the hip, and then after all that, when everything feels like it's happening so fast, what are your 1 or 2 cues that you can focus on to help you feel confident and be aggressive to that end reception right there? There's a bazillion ways to drill and piece it all together. If you know you struggle from the ground to your knee, you can do some clean lift-offs or snatch lift-offs. And if you know you struggle from the knee getting to your hip, all you need to do is take this PVC and do about 5,000 reps of recline the chair. Recline the chair. And then after that, if you want to start getting explosive and strong and feeling comfortable on that really fast, fun part of the Olympic lift, work a lot from the high hang position. I love doing that. And then finally, if squat lifts are your nemesis, do your mobility. I know you guys hate me for saying that, but I hope this video helps you guys smash your Olympic lifts. Actually, just simplify your Olympic lifts, because they're some of the most fun things to do. It's the most magical feeling, right, Blitz? Right, Boogie? Say bye-bye to all of our homigos. Don't forget to like and subscribe because I'm sweating my butt off right now. I love you.